So I know the last video I made, I said that I would maybe pick up the pace and come out with videos more often. I guess that was kind of a lie. Anyways, I'm back. I'm gonna make a new one right now. And so long story short, my client wants a new field on tasks called province to be pulled from either the who ID, which would be typically the lead, or the what ID, in this requirement, the opportunity. So if I go and look in either of those objects, I could see it's there. I did a data export, I could see that it's populated on just about every single record. And since with activity custom fields, you're not able to make formulas that look up to the parent record and pull information from it. It's just, it's not possible. So the only other option is to do a process builder or flow, maybe a workflow. I don't even know if a workflow would work. Regardless, I'm the flow guy, so we're gonna do it as a flow. So first step is to create a new custom field on the activity, and I will simply do that. I'll make it a text field, and I will call it province. For now I'm going to keep it off the layouts. Okay, and the field is saved. Awesome. Next step, let's go and make the new automation and get it populated. And setup, go to flows, and I'm gonna make a new one. It's gonna be a record triggered. I like doing free form. The object will be task. When a record is created or updated, actually, now I'll leave it as created or updated. Let's have an entry condition. We will say if the who ID is null, false, what ID is null, false, and let's set that condition to or. So this means that the task is created and it either has contact or lead, or in this case it would be probably an opportunity, and we want this to happen only when a record is updated to meet this condition. I'm gonna try to give this a shot using the fast field updates, which is what they used to call before flows, when that came out in summer 20. They keep kind of changing the terminology. I don't know, in my opinion it's kind of getting confusing, but whatever. Anyways, these are more efficient, they're faster on the system, they're 10 times faster than using a typical process builder. So I actually might do a video on that later. I just did a whole project where I optimized the client's entire instance because they just had way too many slow running process builders, and I ended up fixing it with this, but that's for another time. And essentially you're able to use this when the flow that you're initiating, or should I say the object that you're initiating the flow from, updates only that object in the end. So let's say you're trying to run an automation, you're trying to update a different object than what initiated it, maybe a parent one, maybe a child one. You can't use fast field updates, but in this case, since we're making the task and we're ultimately updating the task, I think this might work out. So let's go and grab a decision element, and I'll call it who or what ID. Basically, I'm trying to determine whether it's the lead that's populated or the opportunity. So in this first step, I'll say lead is populated. And then what I'll do is I'll go to record, record who ID is null, false. Actually, what I'm gonna do is say record who ID starts with, and lead ID start with, I think it's 00Q, right? Yeah, 00Q. Okay, lead is populated. and we'll say op is populated. So record what ID starts with, and I think it's 006 for ops. Okay, cool. The decision is made, so the flow starts, goes to decision, and then we're gonna have to look up either two different records. So we'll start with the lead one, get info from lead. It is the lead object we're querying from, and we'll say that the ID equals the record who ID. Okay, only the first one. We'll just store all fields. Actually, I haven't validated this yet, but I've heard it's faster if you choose the fields. So since I'm only getting the province, that's the only field I'll select. I'm not sure if that's true. It kind of makes sense. Rather than storing every single field on the record, you only grab the ones you need. So in this case, I'm just going to grab province. I'm going to repeat that process for opportunity. Get info from op. ID equals the records what ID. And the same thing, we're going to grab the province from the op. So now if the decision finds that it's the lead that's populated, we'll go get the lead info. And if the op is populated, we'll get that. All right, the next step is to basically take that field and populate it right back on the lead. So what I do with before flows, or now called fast update flows, is you don't have to use a update records element. You could just use an assignment. Assign province. So we'll say that record province equals get info from lead province. And what I'm going to do is duplicate that. This time it's from the opportunity province. And then we just drag it to the appropriate element. And that honestly should do it. I hope it works. Considering this is a before flow, I hope that everything's populated before the record's committed to the database. I suspect it'll go well. Let me just save this and I'll call it task get province from parent record. Save. I might need to do some tweaking on this because I haven't accounted for the fact that, say they create a task and it's an account, or say it's a contact. From what I understand about this requirement, it's this province field is only on leads or ops, so I've just designed this flow to account for that. So I hope it doesn't break hypothetically if I made it on a different record, but I'm just going to give it a little test anyways. So I'm on a lead record. We can see the province is Alberta. Let me scroll to the bottom and make a new task. Just call it test task. Set the due date maybe for later this week. Leave everything the same. Actually, I'll take off that reminder. Save. And let's see if it works. I'm going to click into it using my Salesforce inspector, show all data. And if I look at the province, we can see that the province was properly populated. Simple as that. So that was a quick one. Just goes to show that you cannot use formula fields. I don't know if that'll ever be a feature that Salesforce comes out with, but creating the flow at the end of the day wasn't that hard. Thanks for watching.